Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, ma'am.
How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Right. So, how far have you gone in your studies? How's your preparation going?
Uh, Ma'am, I just go through the course cases mostly, whatever we've been doing in the class, and you ask us to go through them. So just mainly going through the cases.
Okay. I will like to see your notes as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'll share.
do share the notes with me of any one chapter so I get an idea how you guys are making it. Right. So we stopped till here, lifting the veil to prevent evasion of obligations. Let's continue. Public interest. Please read.
In a time of war, a company is not permitted to trade with enemy alliance. The court may draw aside the wheel if, despite a company being registered in the UK, it is suspected that it is controlled by aliens. The Daimler Co. Limited versus Continental Tire and Rubber Co. Limited 1916. The question of nationality may arise in peacetime, where it is convenient for a foreign entity to have a British
Facade.
facade, facade on its operations.
Right. So what are they trying to say?
In the first line, they're telling us that in a time of war, we are not supposed to trade with our enemies. There is a rule, we have to follow it. It's not like we're not. If we are not a public, we are not. We are just private company, and of course we can deal with it. No, we have to follow certain laws, and then the
Exactly.
court may draw aside
Exactly,
that
and
we.
that's it. That's it. During the war times, you cannot trade with your enemy aliens. You cannot trade. They go
Yes.
if you have a business, you will think from your for your business, for your organization, and for your own profit, right? This is any
Right.
basic fear, basic character of a human, the basic nature of a human. He thinks for himself first. So why would he think about the country? If he is getting a customer who is belonging from the
Exactly.
enemy country and at that time war is going on, he would think about his own profit and he might enter
That's
Yes.
into
right.
a contract with him, which is illegal, which is not permitted during war times.
For
Okay?
example, when Ukraine was being invaded, US put sanctions on other countries to trade with Russia.
But that means all the contract they will be like finished. We are not supposed to
Yeah.
follow the contracts anymore.
Yes,
Okay.
they all will get suspended. Okay. Then Re-FG Films Limited 1953. Here is a case. Let's study the case. Ali, read the facts.
Okay, the facts. An English company was formed by an American company to make film, which would obtain certain marketing and other advantages from being called a British film. The staff and finance were American, and there were neither premises nor employees in England. The film was produced in India. Decision. The British company was the American company's agent, and so the film did not qualify as British effectively. The corporate entity of the British company was swept away, and it was exposed as a sham company.
Hmm.
Sham company.
What 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 do you think about this case?
Uh, like, hmm, like they were disguising and like making film in the name of British film, whereas neither the staff nor the employees were British. So the case was filed against them, and like the court ordered to like strip away it and remove it from the platforms.
ना इसमें हो क्या रहा है? किंजा आपको बात समझ आ रही है? कहानी समझ आ रही है? चल क्या
Yes,
रहा
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For example, if nowadays Indian movies are banned here in Pakistan, what if Indian just go to and just say that okay, we have been shooting this film in London, and but there is no connection with UK. Everything is, the employees are of Indian, the actors are Indian, everything is Indian, but they're just putting up the name of any other country. So obviously we will not be able to release that movie in this country, in Pakistan, because it has already been we already know that all the employees, everybody who's connected to the movie is of Indian. Indian is actually getting the whole business, the whole profit, India. So obviously
Exactly,
it won't be
exactly.
allowed.
Similar case has been come up over here that an English company was formed. हो ये रहा है, the real people are the American people, and they are trying to put up a show which presents or which appears to be British.
Yeah.
Okay, which appears to be British, and they are doing it purposely because they want to
Exactly.
advertise and market as British film, because
Yeah,
they
they
feel
want to
that
cater
if they
that
will say
specific
that,
market.
if they will use the name, the film will work more. Okay, the film
Yeah,
will generate more profit. But in reality, who are making it or who are behind the scene, who are actually working upon it, they are the American people.
Americans. Yeah.
And the film was produced in India, means it's produced in India, it's being made in America, and they are saying that it's being the name of Britishers are being used. Now what the decision came, that sorry, you cannot call it a British company. Why? Because it's actually an American company that's working upon it, and therefore the British company is just acting as an agent. And so the film did not qualify as British film. Full stop. Next. Evasion of liabilities. Please read. Kinza.
The veil may also be lifted where directors ignore the separate legal personality of two companies and transfer assets from one to the other in disregard of their duties in order to avoid an existing liability. Okay, like for example, I have some business and my brother is in UK. I'll be just putting up my things on his name, so that I won't be liable for the tax, and he'll be, I'll just giving it. So just getting rid of the tax or my liability, I'm putting it on the other person's name.
Exactly. So that is evasion of liabilities. You want to escape your liabilities. Okay. Facts. The court was asked to rule the various companies within a group, together with the minority shareholders, should be treated as one entity in order to restrain assets prior to trial. Decision. The order was granted. The court, though there was evidence that the companies had been used for the fraudulent evasion of excise duty. Now, what's happening over there? The veil may also be lifted where directors ignore the separate legal personality of two companies and transfer assets from one to another in disregard of their duties. हो ये रहा है कि भाई दो कंपनीज है, ठीक है, A and B. Now these both are individual companies working in their own domains. What is happening, the directors or the people who are behind these companies, they are transferring asset from one company to another without any exchange of money. They are just transferring, exchanging assets, and without any proper contract, without bringing it into the attention of the shareholders, nothing.
Or without making it official,
Exactly.
just on a informal basis.
Behind the scenes, okay, behind the curtain they are doing this, which is not right. So in this case, what will the court do? The court will lift the veil and will see, look at the people, find the people who are actually responsible for this action. Okay, they're actually responsible for this action, and what are they doing? They are, avoiding their existing liability. And what's their liability as a director? What's their role as a director? To think about the betterment of the company, to represent the shareholders, to maximize the profit of the company, of the shareholders, right? So over here, what's happening? They lifted the veil and they are exposing the people who are behind this fraudulent evasion of excise duty. Now, what's the court saying? The court is saying that the court was asked to rule that various companies within a group, that means a group of companies. For example, if this is one group, together with the minority shareholders, should be treated as one entity in order to restrain assets prior to trial. अब यहाँ पे क्या कहा जा रहा है, कहा ये जा रहा है कि भैया आप कह रहे हो बिकॉज कोर्ट ने तो पर्दा उठा दिया, तो वो डायरेक्टर्स अपने डिफेंस में कुछ तो बोलेंगे ना, तो वो ये कह रहे हैं कि देखें ए और बी ट्रांसफर इसलिए कर रहे थे क्योंकि ये एक फैमिली को बिलोंग करते हैं, दे आर पार्ट ऑफ वन ग्रुप, सो लेट अस डू इट, व्हाई आर यू चार्जिंग मी सेपरेटली एंड मी सेपरेटली व्हेन वी बोथ बिलोंग टू वन सेम फैमिली। ये वही वाली बात हो गई कि दो भाई हैं और दोनों पार्टनर्स हैं एक ही फर्म में, और दोनों से टैक्स अलग अलग गवर्नमेंट ले रही है, तो पार्टनर्स ये बोल सकते हैं, अपना डिफेंस रख सकते हैं कि भाई देखिए हम एक ही फैमिली से हैं, हम दोनों भाई हैं और हम एक ही फर्म में काम कर रहे हैं, हम दोनों उसी फर्म के पार्टनर्स हैं, आप हम दोनों को से अलग अलग चार्ज क्यों कर रहे हो टैक्स, आप सिर्फ एक पार्टनरशिप हमारी फर्म से चार्ज करो, दैट्स इट, ऑन बिहाफ मतलब हमारे बिहाफ पे उससे it's done. Why are you charging me separately and the person, my brother, separately and then the firm separately? This is not fair. We all belong to that one group and that one group is only generating the revenue for all three of us. So just take as one tax. So वहां पे ये उन्होंने अपना मुद्दा रखा, अपना डिफेंस रखा. Now what's happening? What's the decision? Should be decision is the order was granted. उनकी request मानी गई. The court thought there was evidence that the companies had been used for fraudulent evasion of excise duty. The order was granted. उनको ये in order to restrain assets prior to trial. उनकी ये बात रखी गई सामने और उनको कहा गया कि हाँ ठीक है, आपकी बात दुरुस्त है एक तरह से कि आप एक सेम ग्रुप में हो, यू कैन ट्रांसफर दिस थिंग्स, इट्स ओके फाइन, बट यू कैन नॉट एस्केप योर लाइबिलिटीज, योर एग्जिस्टिंग लाइबिलिटीज यू हैव टू, अगर टैक्स देने हैं, एक्साइज ड्यूटी कुछ लग रही है देनी है तो वो देनी पड़ेगी, but yes we can consider the fact that you are from one same group, we can take that fact into consideration. Next, evasion of taxation. Courts may lift the veil of incorporation where it is being used to conceal the nationality of the company. Point to be noted. Nationality of the company. So ये हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? Basically, these are all the scenarios where court can lift the veil.
Where court can
Lift,
lift the wheel.
yeah, can lift
Okay.
the veil. And what is
Basically
the veil?
investigate.
To investigate that who is behind this, who is actually involved.
Oh,
Because as we discussed yesterday, the company is an artificial person. Everybody knows the company can
yes.
come over here itself, right?
Yes.
Next, quasi partnership. Kinza.
An application to wind up a company on the just and equitable grounds under the Insolvency Act 1986 may involve the court lifting the veil to reveal the company as a quasi partnership. This may happen where the company only has a few members, all of whom are actively involved in its affairs. Typically, the individuals have operated contentedly as a company for years but then fall out, and one or more of them seeks to remove the others.
All
The
right.
court or other courts.
Explain.
Quasi partnership is when all the members, there are not so a lot of members, but whatever whoever are the members are extremely involved extremely involved in the company, and they are very active. And once they are just finishing up the stuff, or maybe so the court will have to look into their partnerships and look into that, is somebody taking revenge from the other, or is there any personal differences? So then the court will check.
इसमें सीन ये है कि एप्लीकेशन दी जा रही है टू वाइंड अप अ कंपनी ऑन जस्ट एंड इक्विटेबल ग्राउंड, और ये एप्लीकेशन किस पे, कहाँ पे लिखा है इसको बंद करने के लिए? इंसॉल्वेंसी एक्ट में लिखा है.
Insolvency
तो
Act.
क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है? इसलिए ऐसा हो रहा है बिकॉज द कंपनी इज वर्किंग विद द नेम ऑफ अ कंपनी, ओके, that I am a company, I'm working, but in reality they are working as a partnership, and there's a difference between a partnership firm and a company. We have studied it, yes or no?
Yes.
So on the face, they are using the name of a company that yes, we are a company, but in reality, on the ground, They are working as a partnership firm, and therefore it is known as quasi partnership, and
But
therefore
ma'am, if we have more than 20 partners, then it becomes a company. So I don't know how can we consider it a quasi partner.
only has few members, all of whom are
Yeah.
actively involved.
Yeah,
Typically,
but at least whatever few members should be having a number, exact number. So how can we say that it's a quasi or a partnership or a company?
यही तो कोर्ट इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगी ना। कोर्ट
हम्म,
को तो यही
कि
ना
कितने
है कि भाई इतने कम मेंबर्स हैं और तुम लोग जो हो, तुम लोग के शेयर्स मार्केट में नहीं है। That's the number one symptom. Your shares are not in the circulating in the market because एक कंपनी के पब्लिक कंपनी के प्रॉपर कंपनी के शेयर्स मार्केट में फ्लोट करते हैं। बट पार्टनरशिप के अगर दो भाई या एक फैमिली का बिजनेस है और चार भाई पांच भाई पार्टनर्स हैं, तो फिर वो तो नहीं सर्कुलेट करेंगे शेयर्स उसमें स्टॉक में। तो दैट्स
Yes.
नंबर वन सिम्टम। So what are they doing? They're just saying that yes, we are a company, we are a company, we are a company, but they in backhand they are not behaving like a company. On the grounds they
okay.
are not following the rules of a company, the laws and regulations of the company, जो जाहिर है वो कुछ ना कुछ एविडेंसेस सामने आए होंगे, and therefore for that reason the court will definitely lift the veil to see who is behind all of this and what's the real picture. Lifting the veil in group situations. कब कब आप पर्दा उठा सकते हैं ग्रुप सिचुएशन में? प्लीज रीड अली।
The principle of the wheel of the incorporation extends to the holding parent company subsidiary relationship. Although holding companies and subsidiaries are a part of the group under company law, they retain their separate legal personalities.
क्या क्या?
Uh, ये बोले कि वेल लिफ्टिंग का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, जो प्रिंसिपल है, वो बेसिकली कंपनी का जो आपस में रिलेशनशिप होता है वो उनको एज अ सेपरेट ही ट्रीट करता है, बेशक वो उसकी सब्सिडरी ही क्यों ना हो। अगर जो है ना अ, ये लिफ्ट द वेल की बात आ जाए तो कोर्ट के लिए वो दोनों सेपरेट ही हैं, एक एक नहीं।
राइट। कोर्ट के लिए दोनों सेपरेट हैं और पेरेंट कंपनी का ही अगर बेल उठाएंगे तो देखेंगे, बस जरूरी नहीं कि आप हर सब्सिडियरी में भी जा जाके पर्दा उठा
हाँ
लें।
बिल्कुल।
ठीक है, तो आपने सिर्फ एक पेरेंट कंपनी का कर लिया एंड दैट्स मोर देन इनफ, अनलेस द केस इज वेरी मच कॉम्प्लिकेटेड एंड यू नीड टू गो एंड डू फॉर अदर्स। ठीक है, अब इसमें बताया जा रहा है केस ऐसा आ गया था एडम्स वर्सेस केप इंडस्ट्री पीएलसी कि जहां पे तीन reasons were put forward for identifying the companies as one and lifting the veil of incorporation. और वो कौन से केसेस थे? When the subsidiary is acting as agent for the holding company, number one. Number two, the group is to be treated as a single economic entity because of statutory provision. Number three, the corporate structure is being used as a facade or sham to conceal the truth. तो ये तीन सिचुएशंस हैं, ये तीन केसेस हैं कि जहां पे कोर्ट पेरेंट और सब्सिडियरी को एक समझेगी और दोनों के पर्दे लिफ्ट करेगी। और यहाँ ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, ऊपर जो लॉ है, जो बेसिक लॉ है, जो जनरली सबके लिए है कि पेरेंट और सब्सिडियरी डिफरेंट है एंड देयरफॉर सिर्फ वो पेरेंट को अगर देखना चाहे तो बेल उठा के देख लेगी एंड दैट्स इनफ, सब्सिडियरी की जरूरत नहीं। Unless the situation comes and jahan aisa lage ki subsidiary is acting as agent and it's required by the case for further investigation, the group is to be treated as a single economic entity because of statutory provision. State ने बोला है कि इन दोनों को एक ही समझो। Number three, corporate structure is being used as facade. Facade means what? Fake, एक झूठा मुखौटा, जिसको हम कहते हैं उर्दू में ना मखौटा आपने पहना हुआ है। So that's sham to conceal the truth. So in these three situations, you will be lifting the veil. All right. There's this case, Cape Industries case. Ali, I would like you to read and explain.
Shall I read?
Yes, read.
The fact: if an English company headed a group which included many wholly owned subsidiaries. Some of these mine SBTOs in South Africa and other marked as SBTOs in various countries, including the US. Several hundred, several hundred complainants had been awarded damages by the court for personal injuries suffered as a result of exposure to the asbestos dust. The defendant in Texas included one of the cave subsidiaries, NAAC. The court are considered the position of AMC, another subsidiary, and CPC, a company linked to Cape Industries. Shall I explain this?
बस यहीं तक, अब समझाओ क्या समझ आ गया, तक क्या सीन क्या चल रहा
बेसिकली ये है कि केव जो है एक इंग्लिश कंपनी थी जो कि सब्सिडरी थी, एक ना, जो कुछ ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज
है।
उसकी सब्सिडरी थी। तो इसमें से कुछ साउथ अफ्रीका में थी, कुछ बहुत से यूएस की दूसरी स्टेट्स में थी। तो बहुत सारे जो है ना डैमेजेस क्लेम किए थे, और वो उसका इफेक्ट दोनों जगह पे हुआ, मतलब बाकी सब्सिडरीज में भी हुआ। The court are considered the position of AMC, another subsidiary and EMC company linked to the Cape Town industry. ये लास्ट टाइम नहीं समझे।
हम्म।
Didn't get the last line.
ऑल राइट, किंजा क्या समझ आ रहा है, क्या सीन चल रहा है?
Actually, there's some thing wrong happening with the company, but they are also considering the subsidiary companies as well. They are also looking into the positions of AMC and CPC in the subsidiary company. So now the decision. Shall I?
Yes, decision. What's a decision?
A judgment would not be enforced against the English holding company, either on the basis of that CAPE had been present in the US through its local subsidiaries, or because it had carried on business in the US through the agency of NAAC. Slade LG commented, in giving the judgment, the English law, for better or worse, recognized the creation of subsidiary companies, which would fail to be treated as separate legal entities, with all the rights and liabilities which would normally be attached to separate legal entities. Whether desirable or not, English law allowed a group of structures to be used to that legal liability fell on an individual member of a group rather than the group as a whole. Like for example, I am an individual. My brother is in UK and he's giving me some good amount of money. So it's not that we both are not answerable. The country can check my details and can check my brother's account details, and then can even check the trail where the money is coming from. We are liable. We cannot say that okay, we are just in this country only, this we are just answerable to this country, don't question me, this is not my job, my brother has given me, you just check one of our statement. They can check any of the statement, they can check the trails, and we are obliged to return whatever the legal requirements are. So it's not necessary that only the main person should be questioned.
Yes, so how is this related to these three conditions? How is this case?
This case is related because the subsidiary is acting as an agent. Both of the companies are connected. They are agents. It's not that one is doing a very different job and the other. They are agents and representing each other.
Exactly.
Can you please, ma'am, show me other two as well?
So what was happening? कुछ एस्बेस्टस बना रहे थे साउथ अफ्रीका की एक कंपनी में, जिसकी वजह से लोग बीमार पड़ रहे थे, पर्सनल इंजरीज हो रही थी उन्हें. And
Ma'am,
then
what is meant by asbestos?
asbestos is a kind
It's
of
a medicine, a
mineral,
drug, a medicine.
you can say. So ये चीजें जो है आप जमीन से खोद के निकालते हैं, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज, एंड देन यू रिफाइन इट और यूज इट somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So now this, and you guys are Google generation, please Google it exactly what is asbestos. You will get to know in detail. So several hundred claimants had been awarded damages. Damages दिए गए थे, किसने दिए थे? टेक्सास कोर्ट ने, for personal injuries suffered as a result of exposure to asbestos dust. डस्ट की एक्सपोजर की वजह से कुछ इंजरीज हुई हैं, जिसकी वजह से डैमेजेस दिए गए हैं. अब courts also considered the position of AMC another subsidiary because court फिक्रमंद है कि भाई public health का मामला है, पब्लिक हेल्थ का मामला है, तो अगर पेरेंट कंपनी से शिकायत आ रही है तो हमें सब्सिडियरी में भी चेक इन करना चाहिए, ठीक है, कि कहीं वहां भी तो ऐसे मामला नहीं है. एंड देन व्हाट डज द डिसीजन कम, द जजमेंट वुड नॉट बी एनफोर्स्ड against the English holding company either on the basis of Cape had been present in the US through its local subsidiaries or because it had carried on business in the US through the agency of NAAC. अच्छा, अब यहाँ मसला ये एक और आ रहा है कि भाई सब्सिडियरी जरूरी नहीं कि आप ही के मुल्क में हो, आपकी सब्सिडियरीज आपके बच्चे जरूरी नहीं है कि आप ही के मुल्क में हो, पाकिस्तान में हो. आप अपने बच्चों को बाहर पढ़ने के लिए भेज देते हो, यूके ऑस्ट्रेलिया यहाँ वहाँ, तो वैसे ही आप सब्सिडियरीज अलग अलग जगहों पे खोल सकते हैं, अलग अलग कंट्रीज में. तो आप जिस कंट्री में खोल रहे हैं उस कंट्री का लॉ क्या कहता है, डू यू हैव द परमिशन टू लिफ्ट द वेल, डू यू हैव द परमिशन टू लिसन टू द केस और इन्वेस्टिगेट द मैटर्स ओवर देयर. तो वो चीज भी एक कंसिडरेशन में आ जाती है. Slade LJ commented in giving the judgment that English law, for better or worse, recognizes the creation of subsidiary companies which would fail to be treated as separate legal entities with all the rights and liabilities which would normally be attached to separate legal entities. तो इंग्लिश लॉ के मुताबिक, चूंकि ये इंग्लिश यूके में थी ये वाली सब्सिडरी, तो उसके मुताबिक उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, आप इसको ट्रीट करें एज वन, as your one parent company group of companies, and therefore you go ahead and look into the matter, do investigate, do lift the veil, do check out what's happening, and do because it's about public health. तो ये कुछ फैक्टर्स हैं. अब देखो, हम जब भी कोई केस पढ़ेंगे, whenever we are going to read a case, you can see it's just in this small box. Do you think in reality this case is this small?
No,
There are so
because
many
ma'am,
factors.
yeah, even sometimes it happens that our criminals just go to the other country. Even then, the government of Pakistan can ask the other government to just, let them ask questions and just let them deal with their own cases. So even then,
Exactly. Now, the case is given in just this paragraph. This is not the case in reality. There are so many factors, so many details. ऐसे ही तो केस लॉ की किताब नहीं लिख दी गई ना, इतनी मोटी मोटी किताबें पढ़नी पड़ती हैं if you want to become a lawyer. And if you want to refer to any previous case, any precedent, then, and there are so many details, so many factors. One side, there are so many perspectives to the case, so many perspectives, and you can't just cover it up in just one para, not even half of the page. So we over here,
Ma'am, I'm just coming. Sorry for the interruption. I'm just coming. There is an emergency. Okay, I'll let you know. Okay.
okay. So we are, what we are studying over here, we are studying the basic laws that when you can or when a government can lift the veil. What are the situations? So government, or sorry, court can lift the veil to prevent evasion of obligations. Number one, for public interest.
taxes, yeah,
For evasion
evasion of
of
tax
tax,
liabilities,
number three. Evasion of tax, number four. Quasi partnership, number five. Group situations, number six. So these are the situations where a court can lift the veil. And for the, just for a better understanding, they have given the cases which you can go through. Again, repeating, the case details will not be asked in the exam, so no need to worry about to learn the cases by heart, neither the names nor the years nor the characters. But yes, the cases which we are reading just to help you remember the law better. Summary of situations in which the veil can be lifted. This is a summary, you can go through it. Lifting the veil and limited liability, okay. Comparison of companies and partnership. Now here the comparison is coming, that which I was talking to you guys, that you must make notes and learn the facts and about companies, the laws about the company and the partnership in such a way that you can compare both of them. So here there is a small comparison, the differences between a company and partnership. The first one, Kinza, entity.
is a company is a legal entity separate from its members. Traditional partnership has no existence out of its members.
Next.
Liability. Members' liability can be limited. Partners' liability is usually unlimited. Size may have a company may have any number of members, at least one. Some partnerships are limited at 20 members. Professional partnerships excluded. Succession. Perpetual succession change in ownership does not affect existence. Partnerships are dissolved when any partner leaves. Owner's interest. The company members own transferable shares. Partners cannot assign their interests in a partnership. Company assets. Company owns the assets. Partners own asset jointly. Management. Company must have at least one director, two for a public company. Partnership. All partners can be participate in management. Constitution. Company must have a written constitution. A partnership may have written partnership agreement, but also may not. Yeah, these things we've already discussed.
Okay. Next. Accounts.
Accounts. A company must usually deliver accounts to the registrar. Partners do not have to send their accounts to the registrar. Do not have to send. It's like partners also, if they are running a business, they have to send their accounts.
No, they do not have to send their accounts to the registrar. It's not compulsion. See, why do you send your accounts to the registrar? Tell me your reason. Why?
Registrar is the person we are just submitting the accounts, or it's the one who's checking up the accounts.
No, a registrar is a body which helps you in many ways. That first, if you want to incorporate a company, you go to the registrar, submit the documents. So the registrar will
No,
give.
but ma'am, like if even I'm a sole trader, then even I have to submit my accounts and pay the tax. So registrar is something else.
Now, these are the two different things. Okay, please note two different things. Submitting accounts and paying tax are two different things. टैक्स सबको देना है, ठीक है, टैक्स आप सबको देना है, चाहे तुम रजिस्ट्रार में जाओ या ना जाओ. Registrar is a separate body. Registrar does not collect taxes.
Okay.
Registrar only is responsible for the legal documentation of the company, to bring it into existence, to give it license to trade, and so on and so forth, for any changes that is happening in the company. Registrar is basically a body to ensure that the governance is maintained in the company, because in the past there were two big cases, huge cases. You can search it on internet. Huge cases where a company turned out to be a fraud, and the public money was, at stake. And public ka jo paisa tha, millions and billions of rupees, dollars, बर्बाद हो गए. Why?
So, ma'am,
Because
were these companies in Pakistan, or you're just talking about globally?
these were not Pakistani companies. These were
Mhm.
American and UK companies. These were not Pakistani companies. These were very, very famous and very, very well known companies, which turned out to be a big fraud. And बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा डूब गया लोगों का, आवाम का. And then from that day onwards, the people decided, wise people decided, who were the governing bodies, that we must make set of rules so that these rules are followed to run a company. ये लॉ, कंपनी लॉ हम पढ़ ही क्यों रहे हैं? हम इसीलिए पढ़ रहे हैं ताकि कंपनीज के लिए भी लॉज आ जाए. देखो पहले जब लॉ था, लॉ इनिशिएट हुआ, तो उस वक्त सोच क्या थी कि भाई कोई इंसान किसी और इंसान का हक ना मारे. और हक ना मारे कैसे? चोरी करके, उसका कत्ल करके, ऐसे मतलब उसकी जगह पे कब्जा करके. ये सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे था, ये सिर्फ सोशल लेवल पे था. लेकिन फिर जब ये देखा गया कि अरे भाई ये तो बड़े बड़े इदारों में या ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में भी इस तरह के मामलात हो रहे हैं, एक कंपनी दूसरी कंपनी का हक खा रही है, या एक कंपनी अपने एम्प्लॉयज के साथ ज्यादती कर रही है, एक डायरेक्टर जो है मिसगाइड कर रहा है शेयर होल्डर्स को, या मनी
और
लॉन्ड्रिंग.
इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन से पहले इतनी बड़ी कंपनीज भी नहीं होती थी. ये एक्चुअली जब कंपनीज, पेरेंट, सब्सिडरी, ये सब भी बाद में आया जब बिजनेसेस बहुत बड़े हुए. अदरवाइज तो इतना स्मॉल स्केल था.
इट वाज अ स्मॉल ऑन रनिंग ऑन अ स्मॉल लेवल. तो जब ये बहुत पुरानी बात नहीं है, इट्स नॉट वेरी ओल्ड, इट्स जस्ट अ मैट बिटवीन विद इन 100 years. विदिन 100 years
Hmm.
ये सारे मामलात और ये सारे लॉज और इतनी लीगैलिटीज और कॉर्पोरेट लॉ और एनईडीज, नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर्स, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर्स, डायरेक्टर को क्या अनाउंस करना है क्या नहीं करना, अकाउंट्स में क्या चीज हम वो शो करनी है, क्या चीज डिक्लेयर
Hmm.
करनी है, क्या चीज नहीं
लूप होल्स बनते गए एग्जैक्टली।
एग्जैक्टली। सो ये सारी चीजें जो है ये एग्जिस्टेंस में इसलिए आई है, रजिस्ट्रार इसलिए आया कि भाई कंपनी ऐसा ना हो कि सब पब्लिक कंपनी को समझे कि भाई ये बाबा जी का माल है, जो आ रहा है खा रहा है बर्बाद कर रहा है जा रहा है, ये कोई ऐसा
बिल्कुल,
तो क्या कहते हैं
कोई ओन ही नहीं करे।
ओन नहीं कर रहा। यू गॉट इट, कोई ओन नहीं कर रहा। यू नेवर ओन अ पब्लिक प्लेस, डू यू?
या
So when the
डेफिनेट
public
नो।
place is not owned, it's not taken care of.
यस,
When it's not taken care of, anyone can come and misuse it, abuse it, and go away. So
दैट्स राइट।
to ensure that this is not happening, the government placed some governing laws for a company, which you have already studied in F1, and
यस।
some of them you are studying over here. So the registrar is there as a body to ensure that the legalities are followed, the documents are there, the members are serious about it, and they have also genuine reason, genuine mission, vision, and that's why so much of legality, so that हर कोई आता जाता बंदा कंपनी खोल के किसी को लूट लाट के चला ना जाए. There are a lot of legal boundaries, legal protocols which you need to follow. ऐसे ही कोई कंपनी बैठे बिठाई नहीं खोल सकता. सोल ट्रेडर हाँ बन सकते हो, क्योंकि वो सिर्फ आप हो, यू आर ओनली रिस्पॉन्सिबल, इट्स योर
ट्रू।
मनी, योर प्रॉफिट, योर लॉस, योर रिस्क.
एग्जैक्टली।
सोल ट्रेडर नो प्रॉब्लम, पार्टनरशिप नो इशू, पार्टनर्स के आपस
नो
में
इश्यूज।
अग्रीमेंट है, आप दोनों का प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग है, आप दोनों का कैपिटल है, आप दोनों का लॉस है. बट व्हेन पब्लिक मनी इज इन्वॉल्व, then there has to be, the government has to come into place to make sure
एग्जैक्टली।
that the public is not इसको क्या बोलते हैं,
बीइंग अब्यूज्ड, या।
there's a very nice word for it, not coming to my mind, right? So accounts, now I hope it's clear. Tax is different, accounts is different, registrar is a different body, and tax collection bodies are different. Please continue.
Security. A company may offer a floating charge over its asset. A partnership may not usually give a floating charge on assets. Withdrawal of capital. Strict rules concerning repayments of subscribed capital. More straightforward for a partner to withdraw capital. Taxation. Company pays tax on its profit. Directors are taxed through pay system. Shareholders receive dividends which are taxed 10 months after the tax year. Partnership extracts drawings weekly or monthly. No tax is deducted as income tax is payable on final profit of the year. Management. Members elect directors to manage the company. All partners have the right to be involved in the management.
So I hope these differences are clear. So here we have completed our chapter. The chapter is complete. I think this section is not complete, right? Chapter 13. Company formation. How you form a company. Number one, who are promoters? किन्जा promoters कौन होते हैं?
Promoters like जो promote कर रहे थे यहाँ पे business, the main customers or
Promoters over here means who are
marketing.
initiating the idea of the company. जैसे
Okay.
आपने कहा पिंजा कि मैं कंपनी स्टार्ट करना चाहती हूँ,
जो
मैम.
mainly founders हैं जो foundation build कर रहे हैं.
Exactly. Promoters are the founders. They are the first people who have this idea and who have this vision to start a company. Then pre-incorporation contracts. What are pre-incorporation contracts?
जो इनफॉर्मल बात हो जाती है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करने से पहले, जो सारी चीजें whatever we are discussing with each other.
किन्जा गौर करो, वर्ड पे गौर करो. Pre-incorporation contract.
Pre means obviously पहले and incorporation contract.
What is incorporation certificate? Incorporation certificate is issued by the registrar on the birth of the company. It's just as a
Oh
birth
yes.
certificate of the company. ठीक है, जहां भी incorporation certificate का नाम सुनो, just keep this word in your mind, birth certificate. It's the birth certificate of the company. That company is legally now has come into existence. Promoters and pre incorporation certificates. अब क्या कह रहे हैं, प्री इनकॉर्पोरेशन यानी कि बर्थ से पहले, पैदाइश से पहले के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स। पैदाइश से
ओके ओके, उसके प्रीवियस
पहले होगा,
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स,
पैदाइश के पहले के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स का क्या मतलब होगा, थोड़ा कोई एग्जाम।
मतलब के प्रीवियस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स जो प्रीवियस इनके
ओके
जब
हियर,
भी कंपनी फॉर्म हो रही होती है उसके पहले भी काफी काम चल रहे होते हैं, तो कुछ प्रीवियस उनकी चीजें,
यस, जैसे कि एग्जांपल,
जैसे कि अगर एक कंपनी बन रही है तो प्रीवियसली उनके बहुत सारी डॉक्यूमेंटेशंस हो गई या कोई ऐसे इन्वेस्टमेंट्स जो वो पुट अप कर रहे हैं इसमें, तो इस तरह के मैटर्स।
ओके, लेट्स टेक दिस एज एन एग्जांपल। किंजा, आप चाह रहे हो कि एक कंपनी स्टार्ट करते हैं मैम, और वो कंपनी मैं और आप मिल के स्टार्ट करते हैं। आप मेरे पास आते हो, आप बोलते हो मैम मैं और आप मिल के स्टार्ट करते हैं, और इस कंपनी का पर्पस होगा कि इट विल बी लाइक अ फर्म, and later it will be converted into a proper company, like the shares will be circulating in the market. So आप मेरे पास आते हो और एक और बंदे के पास जाते हो, दो बंदों से बात करते हो, who are experts or who are ACCA members or who have the expertise whatever. अब ये दो बंदों से जो आपने बात तय की, it's an agreement.
नो, इट्स नॉट इवन ऑफर।
Why it's not an offer? आप अपना आइडिया शेयर कर रहे हो और आप चाह रहे हो कि मैं एज अ पार्टनर आ जाऊं आपके
अभी
साथ।
तो प्री ऑफर, अभी डिस्कशंस हैं, बट लेटर ऑब्वियसली जिससे बेस्ट चीजें डिसाइड हुई तो उससे ही ऑफर होगी।
डिस्कशंस होंगी, प्लान चॉकआउट होगा, और सोचा जाएगा व्हाट एल्स कैन बी डन, एंड देन
एग्जैक्टली।
फाइनली शायद कुछ लोग आपके साथ ज्वाइन करें, कोई एक कोई दो हो सकता है, अगर मैं नहीं तो आपके फैमिली मेंबर हो सकते हैं, आपके फादर आपको सपोर्ट करें, आपका भाई आपको सपोर्ट करे, तो आप तीन लोग, जो भी आपको सपोर्ट करेगा आपके साथ पहली दफा उसमें अग्रीमेंट में आ जाएगा, तो उसके साथ आप एक मुंह जबानी मुआहदा या एक इनफॉर्मल सा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, इनफॉर्मल सा यानी ड्राफ्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जिसको आप कहोगे, क्योंकि
एग्जैक्टली।
आपकी कंपनी पे, अभी आपकी कंपनी लीगली एग्जिस्टेंस में आई नहीं है, अभी आपके
बट
दिमाग
कंसिडरेशन
में
स्टार्ट हो जाएगी, कंसिडर कर रहे हैं हम लोग उस चीज को।
Exactly. आपने तीन लोगों ने इरादा बांध लिया, इरादा बांध के एक ड्राफ्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना लिया कि ये इसका मिशन है, ये इसकी बेस है, ये इसका प्लान है, हम इस तरह वर्कआउट करना चाहते हैं। नाउ विद दैट, you and two of your friends or two of your partners in this project go to the registrar with that draft contract, with your plan, with your every document that is required by the registrar to help you, to enable you to get your company into incorporation, into existence. तो ये जितने भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आपने पहले किए कंपनी के एग्जिस्टेंस में आने से पहले, वर्बल और रिटन, will be considered as pre-incorporation contracts. And later on, when the company comes into existence, what are you going to do with these pre-incorporation contracts? You will be transferring them into the company's name. फिर एक
ओके।
प्रॉपर कंपनी के नाम से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आप बनाओगे, और चाहे तो उसी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस के साथ, चाहे तो उसी कंटिन्यूएशन के साथ, या फिर चाहे तो उसको थोड़ा सा रिफ्रेश करके, it all depends upon the mutual understanding of the promoters, of the members. Okay,
ओके।
next, pre incorporation कुछ expenses भी करोगे आप, yes or no? कुछ
यस,
तो होंगे, जाहिर है। और वो
एग्जैक्टली
expenses
एग्जैक्टली।
किस तरह के होंगे? आप अगर किसी से मीटिंग करने जा रहे हो, आपका कन्वेंस लगा, आप किसी को
एग्जैक्टली।
अपने पास बुला रहे हो, आपका चाय पानी लगा,
कभी कभी बड़ी बिजनेस है, फिर हमें बाय एयर जाना पड़ रहा है, किसी दूसरी सिटी या कंट्री में जाना पड़ रहा है, तो वो सारे एक्सपेंसेस हैं।
बिल्कुल। हो सकता है कि आप एक फैशन कंपनी स्टार्ट करना चाह रहे हो, तो उसके लिए आपको पहले 4-5 फैशन डिजाइनर्स, 4-5 दर्जी सबसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करके रखना पड़ेगा कि मेरी
और कभी कभी होता है कि
कंपनी।
हमें उनको भी पे करना पड़ता है बिफोर इवन स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, दे आल्सो चार्जेस कि अगर बात भी करनी है यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट यू चार्ज।
So before it comes into existence, in the paperwork, you need to make a contract and you need to expend some of the money. नेक्स्ट, रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसीजर पे डेफिनेटली आप अपने सारी चीजें लवाजमात लेकर जाते हो रजिस्टर कराने के लिए, उसका प्रोसीजर फॉलो करते हो, उसकी फीस पे करते हो, एंड देन यू आर गुड टू गो. दे टेक सम टाइम, दे वेरीफाई यू, दे वेरीफाई योर डॉक्यूमेंट्स, दे go through the proper procedure, and then what they do, they issue a incorporation certificate to you. And then it becomes compulsion on you to maintain the statutory books and records, to maintain the accounts of your company for the purpose of showing to the registrar, for submitting to the government, for showing to the court. And then finally, the confirmation statements. Confirmation statements are the financial statements which you will be showing or which you will be submitting waqtan fawaqtan to the registrar, updating your members number, your investment, your capital. You have to keep the registrar updated of your status. Okay, so we are
ओके।
done with this chapter. This is it. What are you going to do? You're going to read the definitions and then you're going to revise. What are the duties of the promoter? ये सब जनरल नॉलेज है. एक प्रमोटर की क्या ड्यूटी होगी कि जो मस्ट अकाउंट फॉर एनी बेनिफिट्स ऑब्टेन थ्रू एक्टिंग एज अ प्रमोटर. एक प्रमोटर की ड्यूटी क्या होगी कि अगर मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबल हूँ इस कंपनी को पैदाइश में लाने के लिए, इस कंपनी की को इनकॉर्पोरेट करने के लिए, आई मस्ट बी वेरी मच ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड ऑनेस्ट कि मैंने कोई अपना जाती मफाद तो नहीं किया, कंपनी के नाम पे मेरा कोई जाती मफाद तो नहीं हुआ है. बिकॉज अभी कंपनी एग्जिस्टेंस में नहीं आई, अभी आई एम एक्टिंग ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द कंपनी. सो आई हैव टू बी वेरी मच फेयर with my company that I have not earned any kind of profit before it came into existence in the name of the company. If I have, I must declare it, I must give it back to the company that this is what I earned or this is what I benefited, so I'm giving it back to the company, I'm putting it in the company's account. Promoter must not put themselves in a position where their own interests conflict with those of the company. Of course, promoters must be aligned with the company. आपका आइडिया है, आपका बेबी है, और आप खुद अपने जाती मफाद
बिल्कुल आपको तो
कंपनी को काटने के लिए दौड़ रहे हो. So it
वो
should
तो ऑब्वियसली आपसे ही ट्रेनिंग लेंगे।
exactly. And a promoter must provide full information on their transactions and account for all monies arising from them. उनको पूरा क्लियर सब चीज शो करनी चाहिए कि भाई पैसा आ कहाँ से रहा है, जा कहाँ को रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, नहीं
पूरी
हो
एक ट्रेल मेंटेन करनी होती है।
रहा है. उनका जाती पैसा भी, वाई बिकॉज आपने अपना आइडिया शेयर किया और आपने उसमें 30% इन्वेस्ट किया, 70% तो आपने लोगों का पैसा लेकर आए ना आप उस कंपनी में. तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी मच ओपन एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट कि भाई आप अपना 30% से क्या कर रहे हो, और जो लोगों का 70% आ रहे हैं, दे आर ट्रस्टिंग यू विद देयर मनी, विद देयर कैपिटल. व्हाट आर यू डूइंग विद.
तभी तो इट हैपेंस ना कि लोग अपने प्रॉपर्टी दूसरों के नाम रख लेते हैं ताकि वो हमारा वो ऑफिशियल नहीं पता चले कि हमने एक्चुअली कहाँ से ये पैसे बनाए हैं। तो ये लूप होल्स होते हैं।
A promoter may make profit as a result of their position. Yes, they can. A legitimate profit is made by a promoter who acquires interest in property before promoting a company and then makes a profit when they sell the property to the promoting company, provided they disclose. Okay, अब इसमें क्या सीन चल रहा है कि भाई आप एज अ प्रमोटर कमाओ प्रॉफिट, किसने मना किया, बट लेजिटिमेट होना चाहिए, लीगल होना चाहिए.
एबनॉर्मल प्रॉफिट नहीं होना चाहिए।
कर रहे हो, डिक्लेयर करो, ओपनली बताओ कि हाँ मैंने एक प्रॉपर्टी खरीदी थी 10 साल पहले, उसकी वैल्यू ये थी, और आज मैंने सोचा कि कंपनी बनाते हैं तो मैं ये प्रॉपर्टी इस कंपनी को सेल करने के लिए तैयार हूँ, तो कंपनी मुझे 20 लाख दे, 1 करोड़ दे, जो भी उस प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू है. तो ये अभी ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही है प्रमोटर और कंपनी के बीच में. कंपनी एग्जिस्टेंस में आ चुकी है, कंपनी ने पैसे देने हैं प्रमोटर को, और आप देखो इट्स वेरी फनी कि मैं प्रमोटर हूँ और मैं ही कंपनी के बिहाफ में एक्ट भी कर रहा हूँ, और कौन कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो थोड़ी सी अजीब सी बात है, इसलिए इसको बहुत क्लियरली इसको रखा गया है कि आप रॉन्गफुल प्रॉफिट जनरेट नहीं करें, क्योंकि आप कंपनी को धोखा दे रहे हैं। आप बोल रहे हो एक ही तो बात है, मैं और कंपनी एक ही तो चीज है,
एग्जैक्टली।
और
हाँ,
लॉ कह
तो
रहे हैं कि नहीं है, तो
आप नहीं हो।
उसको तो मेंटेन करना है। रेमेडी फॉर ब्रीच ऑफ प्रमोटर्स फिड्यूशियरी ड्यूटी, रेमेडी क्या होगी अगर प्रमोटर ने अपनी ड्यूटी को ब्रीच किया, तो फिर क्या होगा? rescind the contract and recover its money, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिवर्स हो जाएगा, नलिफाई हो जाएगा, और पैसे को रिकवर करना फर्ज हो जाएगा, लॉस को रिकवर करना फर्ज हो जाएगा। प्री इंकॉर्पोरेशन एक्सपेंसेस एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स डन 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 डन। लाइबिलिटी ऑफ प्रोमोटर्स फॉर प्री इंकॉर्पोरेशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, लाइबिलिटी किसकी है प्री इंकॉर्पोरेशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की? प्रमोटर पे। He is completely responsible for the contracts he's entering into before the
Exactly.
company comes into.
Because he is the one who's promising up and making up all the contracts.
Exactly. Other ways of avoiding liability as a promoter for pre-incorporation contracts, और कौन-कौन से तरीके हो सकते हैं प्रमोटर के लिए अपनी लाइबिलिटी से बचने के? तो बहुत सारे तरीके हैं। आप ड्राफ्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना लें, ड्राफ्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बाइंडिंग नहीं होता। आप जब जैसी कंपनी जो है इनकॉर्पोरेशन में आ जाए, आप एक नया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाए आइडेंटिकल टर्म्स के साथ, जिसको कहते हैं नोवेशन। क्या कहते हैं किंजा?
Novation.
Novation. Novation means you're making the same contract, same draft contract, but now it's in the name of the company, so it is a new contract and known as novation.
Novation.
फिर एक और तरीका है कि आप ये सब झंझट से बच सकते हो, प्री इंकॉर्पोरेशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और प्री इंकॉर्पोरेशन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लाइबिलिटी से बच सकते हो। ऑफ द शेल्फ कंपनी खरीद लो। ऑफ द शेल्फ कंपनी ये क्या होती है?
मतलब कि अपेरेंटली लग रहा हो कि हमने नहीं खरीदी, मतलब अंडर द टेबल होता है ना, आप इतना, आप जो चीजें पता नहीं चल रही होती,
This
आप बाय ऑन फेस नहीं कर रहे।
is off the shelf. Which products you buy off the shelf in your life? Have you ever been to a supermarket?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have bought the products off the shelf. Okay.
Everything is there on the shelf. Yeah.
Everything is there on the shelf, ready made. You just pick and you buy, and it's yours.
Yeah.
Finish. The same way, off the shelf company means that there is a company in the market which is operating, for example, Samsung. Today, I desire to start a company. I don't start from scratch. I go, I purchase Samsung.
You're just buying the franchise.
I'm not buying the franchise. Franchise is different.
You're buying the whole
I'm
Samsung.
acquiring the whole company.
Okay.
कि मैं उस कंपनी को खरीद लूंगा, मैं मालिक बन जाऊंगा, खत्म बात।
Okay. Okay.
एक रनिंग कंपनी को आपने परचेज कर लिया, अक्वायर कर लिया, एंड यू एस्केप ऑल दिस प्री इनकॉर्पोरेशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट थिंग, लायबिलिटी। नेक्स्ट, रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसीजर्स क्या क्या होते हैं, कैसे आप रजिस्टर करते हो? अ कंपनी इज फॉर्म्ड एंड रजिस्टर्ड अंडर द कंपनीज एक्ट 2006 when it is issued with a certificate of incorporation by the registrar after submission to the registrar of a number of documents and a fee. Number of documents and fee जमा कराओगे रजिस्ट्रार के पास, वो आपको incorporation certificate दे देगी। Once आपके पास incorporation certificate आ जाएगा, then you will also be submitting your memorandum of association. What is memorandum of association, Kinza? It is like a constitution of the company. Okay, it is like a constitution of the company. You are setting the policies, rules for your own company, which is known as
But those are like terms and conditions.
terms and conditions. Okay, documents to be delivered to the restaurant, streamline. This all you can go through this yourself. Facts. एप्लीकेशन सबमिट कराते हुए क्या क्या होना चाहिए? कंपनी का प्रपोज नाम, लोकेशन, लायबिलिटी ऑफ मेंबर्स, प्राइवेट है कि पब्लिक है, इंटेंडेड एड्रेस क्या है, ये सारी बातें। मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन भी आपको सबमिट करना होगा, आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन भी, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्रपोज्ड ऑफिसर्स, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कंप्लायंस, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल एंड इनिशियल शेयर होल्डिंग्स, रजिस्ट्रेशन फी, ये सारी तमाम डॉक्यूमेंट्स यू हैव टू सबमिट in order to become an alive company. And once you
Okay.
will be given the certificate of incorporation, that means your there is the birth, and birth certificate में क्या क्या चीजें होती हैं वही सारी चीजें इसमें भी होंगी.
Hmm.
Registered number,
Name and all the basic things. Yeah.
who is going to
Date
sign,
of.
the date of signing, the date of winding up, whatever, everything. Companies off the shelf, please read.
Buying a small company off the shelf avoids the administrative burden of the registering a company because obviously it has always already been formed. So you are buying a running company, so you just ignore the registration company, and it's not a burden anymore.
Re-registration procedure, आपकी private company थी, अब आप public करना चाह रहे हो, तो
So
re-register.
obviously you have to make new documents and you have to re-register it.
Public थी, आप उसको transfer करना चाह रहे हो private पे तो भी. Okay, so for re-registration, what do you need? You need resolution. अगर पब्लिक कंपनी रजिस्टरिंग एज अ पब्लिक कंपनी, अगर प्राइवेट कंपनी से शिफ्ट होके पब्लिक पे आना चाह रहे हो, उसको पब्लिक नाम देना चाह रहे हो, तो क्या करना होगा? जनरल मीटिंग में अग्री होना चाहिए. कौन अग्री होना चाहिए? प्लस
Shareholders.
रेजोल्यूशन 75% majority should agree. And if you want to re-register as private company, then again the same criteria, 75% majority must agree.
Okay.
And present and voting, point to be noted. What's the difference between public and private? यहाँ पे यहाँ पे 75% मेजोरिटी का होना जरूरी है. यहाँ पे 75% ऑफ मेजोरिटी ऑफ दोज हु आर प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग, जो मौजूद है.
Okay. Actively, जो एक्टिवली उसमें है, जो साइलेंट पार्टनर्स हैं वो नहीं, जो एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं
वहाँ
वो.
बैठे हैं, जो मीटिंग में आए हैं. जो मीटिंग पे नहीं आए हैं उनका वोट ही नहीं होगा.
उनका वोट नहीं है.
ठीक है. एप्लीकेशन हो गई, एप्लीकेशन देख लीजिएगा. अप्रूवल, कंपल्सरी री रजिस्ट्रेशन. कंपल्सरी री रजिस्ट्रेशन यानी कि आपका जो रेवेन्यू स्ट्रक्चर है वो एक अमाउंट से क्रॉस कर चुका है, तो अब आप प्राइवेट नहीं कहला सकते, आपको पब्लिक में आना पड़ेगा.
Okay. Okay.
सो दैट्स कंपल्सरी रजिस्ट्रेशन, एंड देयर इज नो सच कंपल्शन फॉर प्राइवेट. All right, limited company to unlimited company re-registration. अब limited से unlimited पे भी shift हो सकते हो, मगर again you have to go through the
Approval for all the members. Yeah. Limited.
unlimited से limited में भी किया जा सकता है, but you need special resolution. Commencement of business rules. ट्रेडिंग सर्टिफिकेट का मिलना बड़ा जरूरी है. अगर ट्रेडिंग सर्टिफिकेट ना मिले तो फिर आप काम नहीं कर सकते.
Within a year.
Within a year. So ये सारी चीजें हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. It's just again the repetition of so many things.
Yeah.
Registrar of companies is that statutory books. What are the statutory books?
The accounts which we are issuing to the state.
Any book required.
The format. Yeah.
Any book required by the state. अब वो आपके number of employees की book, number of assets की book, number of whatever, anything. Register of people with significant control. Now see, there are so many registers, so many books. Register of members, register of employees, register of directors. These are all the books that are required by the state for you to maintain. Register of resolution and meetings, register of debenture holders, register of disclosed interest in shares. So now who are significant control people? PSC, they are called, it's called PSC, people with significant control. Who are they?
Who are the authorized person who can make decisions, who have the control over the company.
Please note, this is important. Who own or control over 25% of companies' shares or voting rights.
Okay.
Or who exercise control over the company and its management in other ways. For example, ability to appoint or remove directors. यानी कि significant control का मतलब है कि उनका अच्छा खासा influence है कंपनी के ऊपर. अच्छा खासा इन्फ्लुएंस है। अब वो चाहे 25% ऑफ कंपनी शेयर्स की सूरत में हो, 25% वोटिंग राइट्स की सूरत में हो, या वो उस सूरत उस शक्ल में हो कि उनका बड़ा रोब है, जैसे कि कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हो सकती है जो आपकी कंपनी पे बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस कर रही हो और जो बोले आपको वो करना पड़े।
ट्रू।
ठीक है, तो उसमें जिस भी बॉडी का या जिस भी इंडिविजुअल का सिग्निफिकेंट कंट्रोल आ रहा है, यानी कि आपको लग रहा है कि उसके हुक्म के मुताबिक कंपनी वर्क कर रही है, डायरेक्शन ले रही है, काम कर रही है, that definitely they have significant control, and two three things are mentioned over here: 25% voting rights, 25% company shares, or they have the ability to remove or bring a director, appoint a director. So register of directors, what should it have? The names, address, nationality, business occupation, date of birth. All of this is, you can just go through it, just facts. What else is left? Accounting records, you need to keep the accounting records, balance sheet, financial statements, annual accounts, asset liability, financial position, profit and loss. Okay, okay, okay. Confirmation statement to the registrar every 12 months. You must send a confirmation statement to the registrar. And what does it state? It update of the status of the company, कि हाँ अभी भी गोइंग कंसर्न है, हाँ हमारे मेंबर्स वही हैं या चेंज हुए हैं, न्यू मेंबर्स कौन है।
जैसे टैक्स ईयर होता है, हम नया टैक्स हम बता रहे होते हैं, इन क्या हुआ, आउट क्या हुआ, वो कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज इन हुई, कौन सी आउट हुई, कौन से एम्प्लॉयज कितने अब हैं पहले थे।
कंपनी स्टेटस अपडेटेड विद द रजिस्ट्रार। अब जैसे अगर मेरा बच्चा पैदा हुआ है तो बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट बनवा ली है, सब कुछ है, मगर हॉस्पिटल को हम जा जाके रिपोर्ट करते रहेंगे, अब मेरा बच्चा 12 साल का हो गया, अब मेरा बच्चा 15 साल का हो गया, अब उसका कॉलेज में एडमिशन हो गया, अब उसका उधर हो गया, फलानी जगह नौकरी लग गई है। So you just keep updating your Facebook status, right? Next. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पे चैप्टर कंप्लीट है। देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्टफ टू लर्न, आई एग्री, बट इफ यू डू इट, डोंट इसको बर्डन नहीं करके लो, बट डू इट बिट बाय बिट, लिटिल बाय लिटिल, मेक स्मॉल नोट्स, गो थ्रू चैप्टर वाइज। कुछ एक आधा चैप्टर बीच में काफी लंबे हैं, ब्रेक इट इनटू हाफ, ब्रेक इट इनटू मोर हाफ, एंड टेक इट स्टेप बाय स्टेप, बिट बाय बिट। तो इंशाल्लाह ताला फिर मुश्किल नहीं होगी, बर्डन नहीं लगेगा। एंड देयर इज नो रश, वी स्टिल हैव टाइम, दिसंबर है, आराम से तैयारी करो, नवंबर है पूरा। एनी क्वेश्चंस, एनी क्वेरीज? और सुनाए, क्या चल रहा है लाइफ में?
लाइफ में तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा है, बिजी बिजी ऑफिस एंड स्टडीज। आई वाज टेलिंग यू अबाउट माय यूनिवर्सिटी, तो वो भी इंटरव्यूज फ्रॉम माय यूनिवर्सिटी एंड वो सब भी चल रहे हैं लाइन से। तो लाइफ हैज ऑलवेज बीन वेरी एक्साइटिंग माशाल्लाह से।
जबरदस्त। तो यूनिवर्सिटी में इंटरव्यूज भी चल रहे हैं, कहीं बात बनी?
बनी, एक जगह से ऑफर आ गई है। लेट्स सी, नाउ आई एम जस्ट, आई विल बी अप्लाइंग माय वीजा, सो लेट्स सी, लेट्स होप फॉर द बेस्ट।
Inshallah. So you will be shifting with your family?
Right now, I'll be going alone, and then later I'll call my kids. But for now, I'll be going. Yeah, my family is there. My brother is there. My office is already in UK, so I'm already working. It's been 4 years. I'm working from here as an accounts manager.
Okay.
So it's already there. So a lot of things has been lined up. So let's see how it goes.
So
Yeah, but when you're doing a lot of stuff in life, so it's all, life is very exciting. Although it sometimes gets, I get so burdened up. I wake up at around 6 o'clock in the morning, and then sometimes sleeping at 12 or 1. So sometimes I also get a bit burdened up, but I guess this is life and it's exciting. When we are achieving something, then we feel so good about it.
पीछे kids किसके पास रहेंगे?
The kids too, it's like my kids, my son, he's already going in December. My daughter, she'll be staying here with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, but later, inshallah, I'll call her too if I get settled and everything goes well.
Alhamdulillah, inshallah. Life is.
Actually, जो मेरी university है, that is also BPP university. So I will be doing all the ACCA papers from there. And after I'll be done with my masters, I'll get exemptions from all the AC, these all skill level. Then I'll be just left with some of the professional papers.
अच्छा, ओके ओके। सो वहाँ पे आप कौन सी डिग्री के लिए आप अप्लाई करते हो?
I'm applying for masters in accounts and finance.
Masters in accounts, and once you get that degree, then of course you won't, this all will be exempted.
Yeah, this all will be exempted because BPP University is linked up with ACCA. So I will be exempted with, but will I still will be left with 2 or 3 professional papers. So I'll come back, give my professional papers, and then I'll be, good to go.
तो फिर मसला नहीं है, once you have done with the masters or professional is peanut.
Let's see.
It won't be that hectic, hopefully. That's good. Great to hear your side of the story. Interesting. MashaAllah. God bless you. और क्या
Thank
करते हो
you.
आजकल, मतलब बस you work from home, right?
Yes, yes. I go to office also at times, but mostly I'm working from home. Office bhi hai. First, I was living in Beria town, so I had office there. Abhi yahan bhi office hai. I have two, three employees under me. So actually, this is my own business. My brother and me, we are partners. So
Okay.
this is my own work. I'm just doing all the accounts, banking work. So I can't hand over these responsibility to anyone else. So I am just doing it, trying to sort out my stuff, give my some other responsibilities to other employees. We have hired some more persons in the office. So right now I'm just busy giving up my stuff to them so that when I'll be moving abroad, so they can handle up the stuff here. So
आपका
just the transition experience.
किस चीज का?
Sorry.
What is your business about? What have you started?
Actually, I have a state agency, and इसमें mortgages वगैरह होती हैं, and we are just rental incomes are coming up. We whenever we are receiving any rents, we have to make sure that we are the one who are transferring all the rents to the landlords. And in between, if there is any complaint, then we have to sort that complaint out. We have to pay, because the landlord, we'll be deducting the money from the landlord, but we have to pay them. We have to make sure all the complaints have been passed, all the certificates are up to date, because they can anytime come to us, case us, because the tenants, they've got a lot of rights. So all the time we're making sure the house is okay, the gas certificate is updated, all the dams, the walls are okay. So we have to make sure that everything is under control. Otherwise the council, they can come to us and they can fine us anytime they want. So it's a big
Interesting.
responsibility.
Very interesting, माशाल्लाह. Great. ठीक है जी कंजा, फिर इंशाल्लाह मुलाकात
ठीक है,
होगी कल। अपना ख्याल रखिए।
इंशाल्लाह।
टेक केयर।
आप भी। थैंक यू सो मच। ओके, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।